We spent 1 month in Sri Lanka, from going on adventures to relaxing on the most beautiful beaches. I already made a video about how to start your journey here in Sri Lanka, how to get around, get the right visa and that kind of stuff. But in this video I will give you some tips on where exactly to go and what's there to do. I'm also gonna rate every location based on adventure, so how adventurous a location is, and based on how touristic a place is, and then you can decide for yourself if the place is something for you. I hope to give you the perfect tips for Sri Lanka so you can start your journey here. So when you arrive at the airport, a lot of people think that's actually nice to stay 1 night in Colombo, but Colombo is still 1 hour away and it is absolutely not the nicest place to stay at. So I would highly suggest you to just skip Colombo and go straight to the south coast. And the first location in the south coast that I would go to is Mirissa. And I would basically describe it as backpacker's paradise. There is lots and lots to do. There is a huge coastline with a huge beach and you can surf there. You can go to cafes, restaurants, maybe a bar. You will meet for sure more travelers in Mirissa. It's packed. And that's also why I gave Mirissa a tourism rate of 5 stars. It is super touristic. So the most famous thing to do in Mirissa is to go to the Coconut Hill Point, and for the culture seekers there is also a lot of cinnamon farms around Mirissa where you can go to, and that's truly an amazing experience. And then if you want to see the most famous palm tree, Coconut Hill, I would suggest you to don't see it. For me it was horrible. We went there with like a tour guide and we saw it, and after 1 minute I wanted to go. It was so packed with people and it wasn't even that beautiful. The palm trees were broken, and I think it's a nice spot to see the sunset, but honestly I think there are way more nicer spots to see the sunset around Sri Lanka. So we wanted to see it because it's such a hype and you probably want to do the same, so just go there and leave quickly. Then we also went to the secret beach, which is also not very secret anymore. Loads of people. There wasn't really a beach anymore because everything was packed with chairs and restaurants, and it is a nice viewpoint. And we stayed in 2 different locations. We stayed in a local guest house and that was the perfect location. The hosts were super nice, the room was spacious, everything was just worth the money and it was super cheap. So, and the name of the accommodation is this one. So if you want to just cheap, nice place, go check this one out. Then we also stayed in a more luxury place, and that was Ubuntu Villas from Reveal the Collection. It's just a very nice villa on the beach basically. We really have that luxury vacation feeling over there. And if you have a bit more to spend, then I would recommend you to stay there. The second location is Weligama. That's basically next to Mirissa, so I would actually choose one of them. But Weligama is less backpacking, less touristic than Mirissa. It's a bit more chilled, so if you like that, then I would go there. There is a long beach as well, and it's so close to each other that you can basically do the same. We stayed in Weligama for 2 nights at a extreme luxury resort, and I think it's one of the best resorts in whole Sri Lanka. So we stayed there for a hotel collaboration. If you want to know more about that, I filmed all the behind the scenes and I posted it on this channel. So yeah, if you want to see that, go check that out. In Weligama and Mirissa, I would recommend you to stay around 3-4 nights, maybe to get your jet lag out. I wouldn't stay longer than 4 nights, I think. We decided to go to my absolute favorite location, and that's Hiriketiya. And I probably announced it wrong, so from now on I'm just gonna pronounce this as Hiri. I absolutely love Hiri. It is the best place, and not a lot of people know about this place. Like, in none of the guides I've watched or I've seen, no one is talking about Hiri, and I am happy about it, but I also don't know why, because it's the best place. You have everything you need there. You have 2 amazing beaches, one to surf, to have a drink, and one is a super long beach, Yala Beach, that's the name, and you can just relax there. You can go for a swim, and one is sunrise and one is sunset. So it's literally the perfect combination. Hiri is also not that big, so you can walk everywhere, and I really enjoy that, because when you're traveling, you're not always that active. You don't need a motorbike, or you don't need to get a tuk-tuk everywhere you want to go. Really love the cafes over there. Especially don't miss out on Mont. Amazing coffee and the best view I've seen at a coffee place ever in the world. Also a lot of local food. For local food, go to Garlic, absolutely the best and not expensive at all, and the best curry. I made a full video about my favorite cafes in Hiri. We found a secret spot where there are no tourists, we're just on our own, and that secret spot I will send in my email. That's gonna go on Wednesday. So as you can hear, I'm the biggest fan of Hiri, and I would highly suggest to not miss out on this piece of paradise on the world. For tourism, it still gets a 4 because it is very touristic, but everyone is just living a chilled life. It's not the backpacking party hardy, but it's more people that are stay there for longer. So it's just, everyone is just, yeah, relaxed, I would say. For adventure, it is a 2. You can go explore around Hiri and you can surf, and there's just not that extreme activity, and sometimes you want that too. In Hiri, I would recommend you to stay at least 4 nights if you have the time, otherwise just 2 nights. But we stayed 10 nights and I would literally wanna stay there forever. So after Hiri, it makes sense to go to Yala, and I'm sure you heard about Yala because it has the national park, and that's also the main reason why you want to go to Yala. There are so many pickup trucks, so busy to get into the national park. So worth it, because this is the best place in the world to see a leopard in the wild. So we went on a safari with Wild Coast Yala, and we had the best guide. And because of this guide, we could see 2 leopards, and we were the only jeep that day that saw 2 leopards. He knew exactly what to listen to, what sounds made the deers, for example, when there was a leopard around. He was really looking for the footsteps of the leopard, and he had contact with other drivers and things like that. So if you do a safari, just make sure, please make sure that you have a safari with a guide. We saw so many things that we just would have missed out on, like the leopards, and besides of the leopards, you can see a lot of elephants from very close, and a lot of water buffaloes, crocodiles, amazing birds like eagles, owls. So yeah, make sure you find a guide. The best time to spot those animals is during sunrise and sunset, so make sure you book a time during those times and not in the middle of the day, because then all the animals are hiding in the shade. Yala is very touristic because, well, there are a million jeeps around, so it's still very touristic. Adventure is getting a 4 because I love the safari, and it's definitely something you shouldn't miss out on. We stayed 2 nights and it was perfectly fine. So from Yala, we went to Yala. If you are looking into going to Sri Lanka right now, you 100% for sure saw this shot of the 9-arched bridge. I think it's almost the most famous shot of Sri Lanka. It is a very beautiful place. I liked Yala because it's a complete different area than the last things you've seen. And you will see that a lot in Sri Lanka. Every place you go, it's just whole different area and a whole different surroundings, and Yala is in the middle of the mountains, so there are nice views, there are waterfalls, there are mountains to hike. Yala is basically just one street with a lot of cafes, but you really have to look around it to find the beautiful places. For example, the 9-arched bridge, which is a pretty cool place to go to. You have to do like a little small hike in the forest, or you can just walk over the train path. Just watch out for the train, please. I would recommend you to do it during sunrise, because during sunset there are a million people again, and during sunrise we almost had it for ourselves. Just be very careful when you walk on the edge of the bridge, extremely high, and I was so scared to stand up there. So please make sure you don't fall off, and just be careful when you try to take a photo. Also in Yala is Adams Peak. Adams Peak is a little bit further away from Yala, and it's also very busy and crowded, so when you try to hike up there, you just are getting stuck with people. I would get super annoyed with that. So we hiked on Little Adams Peak. That was just a better option for us. It was a nice hike. The views were okay. It was just more the activity in the morning and seeing the sunrise from above. We stayed at a perfect, cute little guest house just away from the big road where everything is happening. So it was on a quiet place and we were the only room they had. And this is the name of that guest house. Highly recommend that one. For tourism, Ella is extremely touristic, like extremely touristic, especially that one road I was talking about. So it gets a 5-star for that. And the adventure, it gets a 4-star because there is loads to do from Ella. The last thing on our, and maybe also your list, is Sigiriya. And Sigiriya is completely different. Again, it is the most local place of this list. For example, there's almost no Western food. I think we saw one restaurant that had Western food. But yeah, Sigiriya is known for the huge lion rock, the Sigiriya rock. And that's also one of the things you 100% saw somewhere if you looked up Sri Lanka. As impressive it is on the photos, it is that impressive in real life. And we stayed at Hotel Sigiriya, which had the best views of the Sigiriya rock. We had a pool just looking over the rock and it was so cool. There are a lot of local guest houses where you can also stay and it's just less luxury than other places and it's also cheaper, so that's good. So the things you can do here is you can go woodcrafting and I like that. I'm into that, I don't know if you are. Another thing is to climb the Lion Rock, which is a tough climb, I heard. We didn't do it mostly because it's only stairs and then everyone is stuck again behind each other. And I hate to climb on stairs. I love a good hike, but not on stairs. So we skipped that one and we went to a better one. So we went to Pirolangla. Pirolangla. I can't pronounce the name of the mountain. We went to this mountain and we hiked it for sunset, which was also getting busy and it is touristy, but it's less touristy. It's a very nice hike to do. You really feel like you're climbing and stuff like that. During the sunset, you have the view over the Lion's Rock. I would love that way more than being on the Lion Rock. What's special about the Lion Rock though is there are kind of natural pools on top of it, and we talked to locals and they said they don't know why the pools are there because it's on the rock and it's always full, also when it's not raining, for example. It's like a little mystery around it, and there's also a temple there, so it has a lot of meaning for locals as well. I think it's pretty cool if you get the chance to get up there, but we didn't. We just had the most amazing view on the other rock. And the last thing you can do is go on another safari. It is less beautiful than Yala, but it is still beautiful. It's totally different again. You can see elephants there, mostly water buffaloes, and really beautiful surroundings. The elephants came close to us, so that was pretty cool. So tourism is less than the other ones. It's a 3, of course they are used to tourism and that's getting more and more over the years. I heard from Alex 2 years ago, almost no one could speak proper English and now they are getting better and better at it. Tourism gets a 3 and adventure gets a 4 because there is a lot to do there. So yeah, that was basically all the places I would recommend to you to go, even if you want to go there for a full month, 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I think you can pack all of those places in there. It just depends on how long you want to stay there in each place. There is so much variety and you will never get bored traveling through Sri Lanka. With that said, I wish you the best journey in Sri Lanka, and if you have any more questions about what to do, where to go, just leave your question in a comment and I'm happy to answer. And also if I missed out on a tip that you know and I don't know, so we can help each other. Thank you for watching and have an amazing safe travel to World's Paradise, Sri Lanka. Oh yeah, and eat as much curry as you can because the curry in Sri Lanka is amazing and I already miss it.